Today I will take topic number 6 in energy conservation and management, that is demand side management. According to syllabus we have to discuss these points. डिमांड साइड मैनेजमेंट में अपने डिस्कस करना है बेनिफिट ऑफ डिमांड साइड मैनेजमेंट, टेक्निक ऑफ इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ डिमांड साइड मैनेजमेंट एंड प्रोग्राम ऑफ डिमांड साइड मैनेजमेंट एंड टेरिफ ऑप्शन of demand side management. So in all there are 5 articles are there which we have to discuss in this particular topic. Demand side management is necessary that whenever generation of the electrical energy is less and consumption is more, in that case to manage the balance of the energy use and production, we have to motivate the consumer by this technique of demand side management. Demand side management, it is applicable in two ways. One way, when production is more and consumption is less, then we have to motivate the consumer for using energy, because electrical energy cannot be stored, it is to be used when it is generated. So whenever excess generation is there, then we have to motivate the consumer to use more energy, and whenever there is a consumption is more and generation is less, in that case we have to discourage the consumer to use the energy. So in this way we can balance the power system, or we can manage the stability of power system from demand and supply point of view. So in this particular topic there is a first article we have to given, or we have to discuss, that is the benefits of demand side management. Demand side management, there are following type of benefits we can get from this demand side of management. First thing is that you have to educate the different consumers which are in the category of domestic consumer, category of commercial consumer, category of industrial consumer, and category of other than this. Basically there are 3 categories: commercial, industrial and domestic. So we have to motivate different group of consumer for the purpose when demand is more and supply is less, then you have to discourage for use of the electrical energy, and when demand is less and production is more, then you have to motivate for consumption of energy. So in demand side management the benefits are given as followed. First is reduction in consumer energy bills. Now naturally when we discourage the consumer for use of energy when supply is less and demand is more, so definitely the energy bill of the consumer will be reduced. So this is the first benefit from point of view that the generation is less and demand is more. Then second is the reduction in the need for new power plant and transmission and distribution system. Now naturally when demand is controlled by demand side management, then consumers will consume less electrical energy, so we need not to go for the increasing of installed capacity of the system, or we also reduce the transmission and distribution network, or we need not to construct a new transmission distribution network. This is the second benefit. Then third benefit is promoting consumer development. This is a promoting consumer development means it is from the that point of view when demand is less and consumption demand is less and generation is more. At that time we should motivate the consumer for development of their demand of electrical energy, for expansion of their work. Expansion of their work means if they are consumers of industrial category, then industrial consumer are motivated to expand the power plant capacity, and in case of commercial consumer they can increase their business by increasing the use of electricity in the additional installation. So this will promoting the economic development of the consumer. The point are very important, 2 point: generation and demand, means demand and supply. So demand and supply ratio, if it is unity, then we can say that demand is equal to supply, so there is no problem of demand side management. But whenever demand is more and supply is less, then we have to go for demand side management. And whenever supply is less and demand is more, reverse of that, when demand is less and supply is more, then also we have to go for demand side management. So in two cases, demand side management is important, when this ratio of demand to supply is more than 1 or less than 1. When it is equal to 1, then there is no problem. As much as power is generated, the same power is consumed. So there is no need to go for demand side management or motivation of the consumer, either way. Now, fourth point is given that seating jobs due to new motivation and the technology. Now the creating job, not sitting job, the creating jobs due to new innovation and technology. Now in demand side management, when demand is more and supply is less, then this point is not holds good. But when supply is more and demand is less, then we have to create the job due to new innovation and technologies. So this is an additional help of the power in the research sector, where the new innovation takes place, or peoples are interested to produce some new product, design new industrial setup. This is all coming under this point. So creating this will create the jobs also for the manpower. So this is in case when demand is less and supply is more, means generation is more and demand is less, then this point will be holds good for that. Then increasing the competitiveness. Now competitiveness is increased by, because when sufficient energy is available, electrical energy is available in huge quantity for every category of consumer, so mainly commercial and industrial consumers, they have a better competition of their business, that is the production in the industries, it is increased, and in the market for commercial organization, the competitiveness will be increased and people will try to increase their business because there is a no shortage of electricity, so they can do much better with the help of this energy available in excess. Then reduction in environmental pollution. Now this is a point of view from when demand is more and supply is less, and in that case the environment pollution can automatically control. But when demand is less and supply is more, then from generating station the pollution of the flue gases and other things will be increased. So from this point of view, if demand side management is properly done, then the pollution can be controlled for the atmosphere or environment. Then reduce dependency on foreign energy sources. Now many times what happen when our energy sources are become shortage, that is non-renewable energy sources become short in the due time in future. So our dependency will increase on the foreign countries for import of uranium and other for nuclear power plant. So if demand side management is properly implemented, that our dependency on foreign countries will be reduced by for demanding for this nuclear energy or other type of any energy, whether in sector of the crude oil or petrol diesel. So this will be reduce the dependency on the foreign energy sources. Then reduction in peak power prices for electricity. Now what happen when there is a in load curve, if you see, if there is a peak load demand is there, so if demand side management is properly managed by the authorities by educating the consumer, so it is seen that in the peak load hours period, the demand of the energy can be controlled by proper reduction in the consumption. So due to this, what happened, the reduction in the peak power prices for the electricity. So in peak load demand period, the energy charges are increased, so that can be reduced for by discouraging the peoples to consume less energy whenever there are peak load hours are there. So unnecessary load which are in operation during these peak load hours, they are switched off. So naturally the benefit is to be obtained by the consumer also and the demand supply agency also. So in the both the case, this is the possibility is there. So normally what happen in peak load periods, if we increase the demand by from the side of consumer, then the cost of electricity will also increase. So to maintain a proper tariff or the proper value of cost of the energy in the peak load period, we have to educate the consumers that they should consume less energy, or they manage that the peak load can be reduced up to certain extent. Now these are the points which are discussed. These are the benefit of the demand side management. These are total 8 points I have discussed. So question may be asked in this particular type of subject or this demand side management topic, that write the benefits of demand side management. So you can write these 8 points which I have explained just now. Now the next article is the technique implementation of demand side management. Technique of implementation of demand side management program, it is a point of discussion for this. So in technique, what should be the techniques for that? So as I have given you in the introduction part of this topic, that education of the consumer, it is the main technique for managing demand side. Why? Because consumer is only the persons or the factor which are responsible for demand of the energy. Supply of energy, it is from the generating station or the supplying agency. It is the responsibility of supply agency to supply the electrical energy. But to manage this supply of energy according to requirement of the system, or to maintain the stability of the system, or to maintain other factors in the power system, it is necessary to educate the consumers. Or consumers, I have already told you, there are 3 categories of consumer mainly for electricity use. They are domestic consumer, commercial consumer and industrial consumer. So this is the point, that we have to give the knowledge of different type of factors which are necessary for understanding the demand side management technique. So in this, there is a demand factor, which is the ratio of maximum demand to connected load. It means that in any consumers, if the connected load is say 10 kilowatt is there, and he is consuming 8 kilowatt as a demand, so maximum demand of consumer is 8 kilowatt, but connected load is 10. So the load factor is 0.8. So naturally, for managing proper demand side management, it is necessary that load factor should be managed within a range of 0.6. So when 0.6 means 60% demand should be there according to connected load, so system will be balanced and there is no extra efforts are made for any other improvement. So try to keep this load factor within 0.6 or around the 0.6, so that we can manage the system very carefully or very efficiently. Then second is the diversity factor. The diversity factor, it is that which is a ratio of sum of the individual maximum demand upon maximum demand of the power station. So suppose from power station all the 3 type of consumers are connected. So there are sum of maximum demand of each consumer, means maximum demand of domestic consumer, maximum demand of commercial consumer, maximum demand of industrial consumer. When it is divided by the total generating capacity of the plant, so this will give the diversity factor. So diversity, we have to know that the which particular type of load is consuming more power. So naturally, by thumb rule, we can say that industrial consumer are the bulk consumer. Secondly, say on second stage, the commercial consumers, they are also bulk consumer, and domestic consumer, they are not bulk consumer, but their number of domestic consumers are more, but their load demand is less as compared to commercial and industrial consumer. So this diversity we should check properly for different category of consumer, and according to diversity we can manage the load schedule for this. Load schedule for this means we have the power to supply from the power from the substation. So naturally sometime feeder separation technique is also used, in which they separate the feeder. So in feeder separation technique, what happen? They have to separate the feeder for domestic consumer, they separate the feeder for commercial consumer, they separate feeder for industrial consumer. Now along with that, there is a big consumer group is there of agriculture consumers. So those who are running the agriculture motor pump for irrigation purpose, so there is also to be divide a consumer category according to agriculture. So in this case, in agriculture consumer, the rural feeders are there. So energy is supplied only through this rural feeder to the consumers of agriculture. So by diversity factor, we are easily calculate the different type of consumers, their diversity of load. So according to that, we can manage for supply of energy to individual category of consumer. So this is the I have discussed demand factor, diversity factor. Now load factor. Load factor is the average demand, it is the ratio of average demand to maximum demand. Now we have to go for drawing of a load distribution curve or load duration curve or load curve. So load duration curve and load curve you have already studied in GTD. So I will not go into detail of that curve, but it is simple that when we go for finding out the average demand, so average demand can be find out with the help of load curve. According to load curve, you find out the average demand, and when you divide this average demand by maximum demand, then this will give you the load factor. So the rule for load factor also is there, that load factor should be lies up to 0.6 to 0.8. It will be the economical value of the load factor, that if load operated from 0.6 to 0.8 load factor, then it give the better efficiency of the system of distribution. So these particular things should be observed for that, and try to keep this particular load factor within this this range. The another definition of load factor is that energy consumed during a given period of time divided by the maximum load in given time. So we have to also, on basis of the load curve, we can find out the maximum energy use or energy consumed during a given period of time divided by the energy maximum demand in that duration of time. So by this also we can define the energy, this load factor for a particular period of time, because load curve normally drawn for 24 hours. So if you have to study in a particular duration of time, either in months, either in year, either in quarterly, or either in 24 hours, or either in week time. So time limit we can fix, and according to that we can design the load curve and study this load factor. And we try to keep this load factor within 0.6 to 0.8 value, so that there is not much stress on the demand side, the supply side of the energy. So this is the some points which are related to the techniques of management for demand side management program, in which now another thing, if you all manage these factors which I have given you, 4 factor I have discussed: demand factor, diversity factor, load factor, and the diversity factor, demand factor, and load factor. These 3 factors I have discussed. So, or I have explained the meaning of all these. Now there are load forecasting should be there. It is to be done by the planning agencies. Planning agency means those agencies which are planned for the new generating station or new power system or new transmission line, new distribution network, new transmission network. So there should be a technique used that is called the forecasting. And forecasting, there are 2 types of forecasting is there: long term forecasting and short term forecasting. Short term forecasting, it is normally done for say 5 years period, and long term for forecasting, when we have to go for forecasting of power demand for more than 5 years. So in that case we have to do some excessive work for finding out the demand for next 10 years or 20 years or 15 years. According to that, we plan for the generation as well as distribution and transmission network. So this long term planning, it is to be done even up to given it is in terms of up to 25 years you can do for this long term planning. A short term planning is, as I have told you, less than 5 years period. If you go for planning of the system, then it is coming under the short term planning. So naturally, planning of what we have to do, it is only for the increasing the capacity of the supply, naturally according to increase of load. So this study is to be done from both the side. You have to see the growth of the domestic consumers in future 5-year time. You have to calculate it. Of course, this is not a exact figure you can get for this, but looking to the expansion or the population or the development of the colonies area or domestic areas, you can assess this particular demand of consumers in domestic sector in the short term planning. And similarly, growth of commercial sector, you have to observe for commercial sector growth for 5 years, and according to that what will be the load position you can find out in the short term planning. Similarly, for industrialization, if you can see for small scale industries, tiny sector industries, medium scale industries, or large industries. So if they are coming in within 5 years time, so this will be planning will be done for short period. And if it is coming in the long time up to the future period of say up to 25 years, then you go for the long term planning. So these planning will help you in development of 2 things. One is the generating station capacity, to increase the generating stations, and second is to increase the transmission network and to increase the distribution network. So transmission, distribution and generation, these are the 3 major factors for electricity supply. So by planning short term or long term, we go for finding out the exact data which can be help us for the planning of this particular type of 3 things: generation, transmission and distribution. So there are some points which are to be discussed in the short term planning. That is a daily pattern. We have to know the consumption of electricity at different level during the day. During the day we have to find out the pattern of consumption of electricity from the consumer point of view, that is from the demand side. Then weekly pattern we should also represent, that day of the week in which a particular day of week when the load is affected more. So we have to just go for a study of the load curve for a particular area or a particular group of consumer, so that you can find out the weekly pattern representing the day of the week where effect of the load is more, so you can manage according to that. Then third point is that the trend component giving the seasonal growth in the load and load end means at the side of load you have to see seasonal demand. So seasonal demand is like this in commercial sector. Whenever the festivals are there, then load demand increase in the commercial sector. Say for example, in Deepavali season, Navratra season, these are the period where the electricity consumption increase. गणेश उत्सव है जैसे, तो फेस्टिवल सीजन जितने आएंगे उसमें कमर्शियल लोड आपका काफ़ी बढ़ जाता है. So you have to manage for that. So you have to study according to that. Then according to irrigational consumer, if the crop seasons is there, so normally in summer days the water requirement is more. So maximum pump sets are in the on condition, or the load consumed by the pump set will increase. So you have to manage according to this season basis the agriculture supply of electricity for running the pump sets. So this is coming under the demand side management. In rainy days, of course, the rainfall is there, so nobody run their pump set for irrigation, because natural irrigation takes place from the nature. So in that case, the agriculture load can be down. Can be down means we can reduce that load. And then for domestic consumer, as I have discussed, that you have to study the daily consumption pattern of the energy for domestic consumer. So normally in domestic consumer there is a maximum energy consumption takes place in the morning hours and in evening hours, because in morning hours domestic peoples are using for all their necessity from morning 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. This is the for all activities for the people who are going office, they are bathing, there are other activities in the morning time. So at that time energy use increases in that period. And in the noon period their consumption will be reduced, because nobody is in the home. Normally if the working families are there in which husband wife both are on job, so naturally the house will have nobody there, so naturally the consumption of electricity will minimize in that period. Then increase of electricity use again from 6 o'clock to night 10 o'clock. This is the peak load hours for the domestic consumer. And at the same time the street lighting also on for the city area or rural area, so street light load also increase. So 6 to 10 in the evening, naturally the load demand increase. So looking to all these points, we have to plan the demand side management according to the fluctuation or the diversity of the demand in different sector, and according to that we should manage for all these activities according to our generation position in the system and demand position in the system. So in this particular chapter, these points I have discussed today, in which I have completed 2 points. One is that demand side management benefits, or second is the program for implementation program for demand side management. Now the third article is there, tariff option of demand side management. So in GTD you have studied the number of tariffs. So in detail I will discuss this particular article tomorrow or on the Monday, that what type of tariff we have to apply to which type of consumer, and how tariff help in management of demand side. So this I will discuss on next in my next lecture, and this will be the last article of this demand side management. Now in detail if you want to go, so naturally most of the things you have studied in GTD from the factors point of view and tariff point of view, but there is a demand side techniques are there. So there are two techniques are available in demand side management. One is the energy conservation and efficiency program. This is the one technique to save the energy, and second technique is load response program to shift the reschedule the energy consumption process. So these two things coming under the techniques of demand side management. How it can be done? It will I will discuss these 2 points, tariff and techniques of demand side management, next time. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.